News this morning, a man accused of murdering his father and grandfather is heading to court today. And a mysterious respiratory illness is proving to be fatal for many dogs across the country.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. We're coming up on 5 a.m. on Monday, January 29th. Now let's send it over to meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a look at your forecast this morning.
Good morning, Olivia, and good morning, everyone. Hope you had a fantastic weekend after the nasty weather yesterday. Weather aside, hey, it was a weekend, right? Always got time to enjoy. 34 as of last check outside our studios here at WYMT. Look at the street lighting. Been looking at some of the flakes that continue to fall across the region as we go ahead and check out what's going on temperature-wise. Yes, we're all in the 30s to wake up this morning as we look at the weather headlines. Yeah, not much sunshine to start off the first half of the week. Got a shower threat today, another wave of rain the second half of tomorrow, and temps running just below or just above average. That's about 45 this time of the year. Again, 30s on the board across eastern and southern Kentucky early on this Monday morning. The pinpoint Doppler radar active with the rain and snow shower threat. Snow showers again from hazard points south and southeast across the high terrain as cold air settled across the region the second half of the weekend. A lot of low clouds to the north and west, and the reason why we don't get into much sunshine today, this drier air will try to get some breaks in the overcast heading through tonight. Here's your planner as we head through the day. The rain and snow shower threat gradually comes to an end. Otherwise, it's mostly cloudy and highs struggling to get back to 40. More about the first alert 7-day forecast in a few moments. Olivia.
All right, Tim, thank you. A man accused of murdering his father and grandfather is set to appear in court today. Austin Prather is charged with murder, attempted murder of his grandmother, robbery, and tampering with physical evidence. Police say the crime happened in early November and Prather was arrested a day later in Indiana. A status hearing is scheduled today at 9 a.m. in Pulaski County. After a fire burned down his business, one Leslie County man is picking up the pieces. Nearly 2 weeks ago, Double H Auto and Towing caught fire. Since then, owner Jesse Campbell says they have opened in the garage on their property. However, they have had to borrow and purchase tools in order for them to operate.
We had to start over with everything, and a lot of this stuff is borrowed. You know, we had good friends that loaned us, you know, the boxes. None of these boxes are ours. You know, everything was, you know, we spent every dollar we had buying new tools back, and people loaned us tools, people gave us tools. So we worked as hard as we could getting this ready. I mean, this was nothing.
Campbell says just 2 days after they moved into their other garage, someone cut 2 locks and stole thousands of dollars worth of tools. One canine respiratory illness that has veterinarians on edge as it continues to spread across the country. WYMT's RJ Johnson spoke with one vet on how you can keep your dog safe.
Veterinarians are on high alert as a canine respiratory illness is spreading across the country.
Currently, we all know about kennel cough, but this new respiratory illness is starting to present with more symptoms, more severe. They decline more quickly than your typical kennel cough patients would. So it has thrown up some red flags.
Dr. William Hagens with Town and Country Animal Clinic says while some of the symptoms are similar to those of kennel cough, it can be dangerous, especially in high-trafficked areas.
So what starts out as something very familiar turns into something that's very different. Any area where you're going to have dogs that assemble in one place, even hospitals, you know, we can have multiple patients in a day, and if you have something in the lobby that's coughing, we always try to isolate them, but you never know what they're there for until they show up.
He says it can spread quickly.
Now it's hey, I've gone on to so-and-so's house and now my dog is coughing. So even a quick trip to a friend's house for a play date with dogs turns into something that now you have dogs that are coughing that otherwise wouldn't be.
Dr. Hagen says it's important to protect your dogs by staying up to date with their vaccines.
if they get this other disease complex, it also benefits that they're covered under something else, so they don't get multiple diseases on top of each other. So make sure that your pet is current on vaccinations.
In Hazard, RJ Johnson, WYMT Mountain News.
Dr. Hagan says if your dog is showing any symptoms, you should take them to a veterinarian to get checked out. As many folks in Perry County are still without water, one nonprofit is still doing its part to eliminate some of the burden. Roscoe's Daughter will be set up in Leatherwood at the Cornetsville Fire Department today starting at noon. They will be providing hot meals while the county provides water. With more rain making its way into our region, highway transportation leaders are reminding people to be careful when driving on wet roads. If you drive too quickly through standing or ponding water, you could hydroplane and crash. Officials with Kentucky Highway Department say to play it safe and drive slow when it's raining, no matter what type of road you're traveling on. Several Kentucky Democrats have filed a House bill that would repeal the state's anti-trans law. Last year, lawmakers passed Senate Bill 150. It bans gender-affirming health care for kids in the Bluegrass state. It also bans schools from discussing sexual orientation or gender identity, bans trans kids from using the bathrooms of the gender they identify with, and allows teachers to use pronouns other than the ones a student prefers. Supporters of the Senate Bill 150 say it's all about protecting kids, but Democrats say it does the opposite for trans students. House Bill 376 would repeal SB 150. Representative Adriel Camuel from Lexington talked about why they're doing this.
Appalling is the only word that I can come up with. It was cruel, it was intentional, and it harmed probably what I would consider the most vulnerable, one of the most vulnerable communities in the state of Kentucky.
If passed, Representative Camuel says the House bill would also provide a more caring LGBTQ environment in schools. One Eastern Kentucky family is reviving an abandoned building as a way to bring their community together in a new way. WYMT's Jack Demler has more from the old Dottie Schoolhouse.
When Liberty Campbell and her mother, Bonita Adams, first laid eyes on the abandoned Dottie Schoolhouse, it was in rough condition.
The floors were they rolled, like they were not level at all. There was a large hole in the area that we use as a kitchen, and you could have probably walked out and went outside.
Yeah, and there was nothing else. There was, everything was flooded down this area.
With the help of family and community members, the building was redone.
They have been phenomenal. People have had fundraisers for us, and that's actually how we ended up getting the roof, which was the beginning of everything. Even though there is so much support from outside of our circle, our family circle is very tight, and we're a unit.
Campbell and her mother brought an abandoned building back to life, hosting pottery classes, an idea that Adams thought of after her experience in a local artisan group.
We really liked the pottery aspect of it because we remember going into the hollers and getting clay from clay banks or whatever, and we would make little horses, whatever.
And while they are still working on the building, Campbell says the pottery classes couldn't wait.
The need was there to just start. You can't wait till everything's just perfectly in place and ready to move on.
Supporting local artists, giving people a place to spend time with each other, and giving people in the community something to do.
We want to help our community in any way that we possibly can, and we have a venue to do it out of now.
Yeah.
And a place to call their own.
You see just the community seeing this as a place that's theirs, that they have, a connection to.
In Letcher County, Jack Demler, WYMT Mountain News.
Campbell says she also hopes that the building can become self-sustainable in the long run. And thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. When we return, a new survey finds many couples are keeping secrets about money, but some are committing financial infidelity.
No secrets when it comes to weather. One, it's Monday. Two, some more shower activity. I guess the big question is, when can Mother Nature be faithful in providing some sunshine, huh? We'll let you know. The First Alert 7-day forecast. Yeah, put that all together on limited caffeine. It's all coming up right after this.